Okay, hi everybody, welcome back. This is week 2. This is going to be area of composite figures. This is Mr. Purdy, and this is going to be this weird looking shape here. Remember before we found the perimeter of this, now we're going to find the area. So we're going to find the inside of this, not the outside. So you're going to see a weird looking, looks kind of like a snow cone kind of thing, but it's really just basically a triangle and a semicircle. And I'm going to show you all the formulas you need and that kind of thing. I'll help you along the way, I promise you. You will need a paper and pencil and a calculator. Any kind of calculator will work. I'm also going to put these notes on Google Classroom. So if you have a printer, you may print these out and follow along with me. If you don't have a printer, and don't feel bad because I don't have one either, if you don't have a printer, you can just draw these very quickly. Just draw this and label everything. You can just hit the pause button and just draw it. And then when you're ready, just hit play. Very simple. That's the good thing about a video. You can play it, pause it, whenever you need to do. Okay, let's start with the triangle. We're going to find the area of this triangle. The area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. And we're finding the area. So now, I'm not going to worry about the semicircle. I'm just going to worry about the triangle. So I'm going to take, in the triangle, I'm going to go 0.5, that's the 1/2. So 0.5, that's the 1/2, times the base, which is 6, times the height, which is 8. So now I'm going to multiply all three of these together. And again, have your calculator. 0.5 times 6 times 8 is 24. Once you get the answer, put it in the shape really big. Because what will happen when you get to geometry, you're going to have this computation way over here, then you're going to compute this way over here, and when you're done, you're like, all right, what's my answer? Where are my answers? If you put them in right away, it's going to be a lot easier at the end. So when you're at the end, we're just going to add up the big numbers. So we've already found the triangle's 24, put it in. Now we'll find the area of the semicircle. Now remember, the semicircle has a diameter of 10. And by the way, that's the same thing as the hypotenuse of the triangle. So sometimes a number can double. Okay, so it is the hypotenuse of the triangle. It's also the diameter of the circle. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the area of the circle. But to do that, we need a radius, not a diameter. So we're going to take 10 and take half of it. And that's going to be the radius, which is going to be 5 feet. So now we'll find the area of the circle, and that is pi r squared. So we're going to go 3.14. I always like to use parentheses. This kind of keeps everything separate. Times the radius, which is 5. So times 5 times 5. So on your calculator, we'll take 3.14 times 5 times 5, and we're going to get 78.5. Now remember, 78.5 is the whole circle. We want to cut it in half, so divide it by 2. So on your calculator, divide it by 2, because it's a semicircle, and we're going to get 39.25. Once we get it, put it in real big. And your geometry teacher will really appreciate this too, because he or she is going to be able to see all your work and what you got here. That way, if you make a little mistake somewhere, you can get partial credit. Because see how I showed all my work? I put everything in there. It's easy to read, easy to grade. Now I'm going to add both these together, and what we're going to get when you add this guy and this guy is you're going to get 63.25 square feet, and we are done. That is the area of this weird-looking composite figure. Okay, moving right next door. A lot of you are basketball fans. This is actually what's called the key. This is where you shoot your free throws. You can see this is the basketball. This is the basketball goal. And what you have is a rectangle here and a semicircle. One thing you got to be careful of, a lot of kids will see the rectangle and they'll see a circle. The problem if you do the rectangle and you do the circle is you're going to count this twice. You don't want to count this twice. So we're actually going to do the rectangle and then we'll do the semicircle. So let's do the rectangle first. That's just 19 times 12. Very easy. 19 times 12 is 228. I'm going to put it in real big. 228. 19 times 12. So all that's done. Now, we're going to find the area of just this. Now keep in mind, this is 12, the width of the rectangle. It also is the same thing as the diameter of the circle. So I'm going to put a 12 in here. But we're not going to use the 12. we're going to use 6 because we want the radius. So we want the radius of the circle. So what we'll do is we'll go pi r squared. Pi r squared. So we'll go pi times 6 times 6. Then we'll get 113.04. 113.04. Now keep in mind, it's a semicircle, so we have to divide it by 2. So divide it by 2, and you're going to get 56.52. We'll put it in real big, 56.52. So now we're going to add these two numbers together. So plus 228, and we'll have 284.52 square feet. And we are done. Please, please, please make sure you have a calculator. I'm using my cell phone right here. Make sure you have your calculator handy. Please don't just sit there and watch and write stuff. Please practice crunching these numbers with me. Really, really going to help you. Okay, one of the easier ones here. You've got a square in the middle, and you have 4 semicircles. Now think about what that means. 2 semicircles will make a circle, and these 2 semicircles will make another circle. So basically what we have is a square and 2 full circles. So let's do the square first. Let me outline the square, and each side of the square is going to be 2. 2, 2, 2, 2. So the square is going to be 2 times 2, which is 4. The square is done. Now I'm going to write these 2 semicircles, and I'm going to write it as a big circle. I'm going to take these 2 semicircles, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to write it as a big circle. Okay, sorry if these are not exactly the same size, but they're meant to be. And if you notice that the diameter of each semicircle, of each circle, is 2. This is 2, and this is 2. These are the same problems. So by the way, whatever you get here, you're going to get here. You don't have to do both of these. Just do one, because these are the same thing. This is a radius of 1. So right in the middle, there's your center. This has a radius of 1. So remember, it's pi r squared. Well, the radius is 1. So 3.14 times 1 times 1 is 3.14. So these 2 semicircles together will give you 3.14, just basically pi. These 2 semicircles will also give you 3.14. So now we're going to add up 3.14 plus 4 plus 3.14, which is going to be 10.28. So your answer to this entire problem is going to be 10.28 feet squared. By the way, I know it's tricky because I am left-handed, and so a lot of times my hand's in the way. See, if I was right-handed, you'd be able to follow a lot easier. So I'm doing the best I can, trying to move around a little bit, so I'm not exactly in your way. But there's 10.28. Okay, couple more on the back. If you have the paper, just going to turn it over to the back. We're not going to do every single one. Let's do. There's 6 more. Let's do 3 more. I'll meet you halfway. Let's do 3 more. This is basically a trapezoid, but let me show you how we can break it down into a rectangle. By the way, I know it's a rectangle because these 2 numbers are different. This is not a square. And then we have our triangle. So let's do the rectangle first. So we're going to go 13.4 times 12.5. So on your calculator, 13.4 times 12.5, and that's going to give you 167.5. 167.5. I think for a rectangle, I really don't need to write it out. You just know it's 13.4 times 12.5 on your calculator, and we get 167.5. Now, this 12.5 has to be carried over to this dotted line, which is also 12.5. So we're going to find the area of the triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. So 1/2 is 0.5. We'll just always use 0.5 for 1/2. And then we'll go 10, that's the base, times 12.5. So now, on your calculator, 0.5 times 10 times 12.5. And that's going to give you 62.5. I'm going to write it real big. So now, add these 2 together. And you're going to have 230 meters squared. And that is the area of this. We can call it a trapezoid or a composite figure, either one. Okay, one thing you're going to be asked to do in geometry is to find the area of a shaded region. So if you think about this, 2 more problems left, folks, and then we'll stop. 2 more left. I'm simply going to ask you to finish this worksheet and then submit it into Google Classroom if you can. If you can't, by the way, email me directly and I can help you. We can work something out. By the way, when we have class, the next time we have class on Tuesday, if Blackboard is down, just go to Google Classroom. So that's the case for the rest of this school year. If Blackboard is down and we cannot have the synchronous class with the Blackboard Collaborate and all that stuff, just go to Google Classroom and just do your independent work. I am always going to be available to help you. Just email me and I'll do the best I can. I can't control Blackboard, so sometimes it's just going to go down. That's just the way it is. Okay, think about what you want to do here. We want to find the area of all of the gray. So you've got gray areas everywhere here. What's the area of the gray? Well, these aren't triangles. This is a curve. These are weird shapes here. So we have to figure out how to do this. What we want to do is find the area. Think about this. If we want to find the area of the gray, we would want to find the area of the entire rectangle. Everything, just the rectangle, circles, everything included. So we're going to take 21 times 10.5. Let's do that. 21 times 10.5. Folks, we'll be done in 5 minutes. Just stay with me. And we're going to get 21 times 10.5 is 220, 220.5. Okay, that's the whole thing right there. What we want to do, though, if we want the gray, let's get rid of the 2 circles. So let's find the area of these 2 circles and subtract that from the area of the whole thing, and that will get us whatever's left over. Think about this. You want to take the area of the whole thing, the whole rectangle, and subtract the 2 circles, and you'll be left with the gray area. Okay? It's actually pretty simple. Now, what you got to do is think about this now. We want the area of a circle, so we're going to want the radius of the circle, the radius of each circle. Now, we know the diameter is 10.5. Half of it is going to be 5.25. 5.25. And again, like before, we don't need to do both problems because they're both the same. We just need to do one of them. So we're going to go pi r squared. Lots of decimals here, but we've got our calculator. That's what that's for. So we're going to take 3.14 times 5.25 times 5.25 because we want the radius squared. This is pi r squared. So 3.14 times 5.25 times 5.25 will give us what we want, which is 86.5. 86.5. And we need to subtract both of these from this. So if you take the area of the whole thing, we're going to subtract 86.5, and we're going to subtract 86.5, and we'll be done. So 220.5, it's just a lot of number crunching, minus 86.5, and then minus 86.5. We're at 47.5. So that is the gray area. So you notice there's not a whole lot of gray here anyway, so there's no surprise. This is kind of a small number. So the area of all the gray is going to be 47.5 square centimeters. Okay, last one, and then we'll stop. This is an old SOL question. It's been around for a while. It says the rectangle, as shown below, has a length of 0.9 and a width of 0.4. Okay, we know that. The circle touches the edge of the rectangle, so there's no area right in between. These actually touch. The edge of the circle touches the length of the rectangle. So what we want to do is find the area of the gray area. Okay, we can do this. I'm going to give you a minute to go ahead and try this. What I want you to do is find the area of the entire rectangle. So take 0.9 times 0.4. Take 0.9 times 0.4, you're going to get 0.36. So that is the area of the entire thing. Now, we're going to subtract from it the area of the circle. Now, keep in mind, for the area, let's find the middle, we want the radius. Well, the radius is going to be half of the diameter. Remember, the width of the rectangle is 0.4. That's also the diameter. So 0.4, but we don't want the whole 0.4. We want half of it, so 0.2. So we're going to do to find the area of the circles, we're going to go pi, 0.2, and then 0.2 again. So 3.14, 3.14 times 0.2 times 0.2 will give us 0.1256. So on your calculator, let's do that. 0.36 minus 0.1256, and you're going to have 0.23 as your, we'll put a 0 in front of there, centimeters squared. So not a whole lot of gray area here. 0.23 is our answer. Ladies and gentlemen, that is area of composite figures. I hope that you have an understanding of that. If you have any questions, please, please, please ask me. Stay safe, everybody. Love you, and we'll see you online, hopefully sometime soon on Blackboard Collaborate.